Moving on now and talking about the biggest controversy that has erupted. The annals of history today has surged to create a tempestuous storm in Tamil Nadu. Days after its release, Mani Ratnam's film set in the backdrop of the Chola Empire has hit troubled waters. Dravidian filmmakers, actors and even politicians have accused the film of saffronizing the Cholas. They claim that the term Hinduism didn't even exist during the reign of Raja Raja Cholan in the 9th century. Why then is he being depicted as a Hindu king? Critics of the film say that this is part of a concerted effort to manipulate history and erase Tamil identity. The BJP, however, contends that Shaivites and Vaishnavites all come under the larger umbrella of Hinduism. Listen into some of the voices which have kicked up a storm over the alleged distortion of Tamil identity.
Hindu மதங்கிற பேர் ராஜராஜ சோழன் காலத்தில் கிடையாதுங்க. அப்படி வைணவம்னு இருந்தது, சைவம்னு இருந்தது, சமணம்னு இருந்ததே தவிர அது வெள்ளக்காரங்க நமக்கு வச்ச பேர். என்ன சொல்றதுன்னு தெரியாம தூத்துக்குடின்னு சொன்ன மாதிரி தான். எல்லாரும் எங்களுக்கு மதங்கள் வெவ்வேறு இருந்தது. அதையெல்லாம் 8ஆம் நூற்றாண்டில் ஆதிசங்கரங்கிறவர் ஷண்மத ஸ்தாபனம்னு பண்றாரு. இதெல்லாம் சரித்திரம். அந்த சரித்திரத்தை இங்கே சொல்லக்கூடாது.
தொடர்ந்து அடையாளங்களை நம்ம கிட்ட இருந்து எடுத்துக்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. வள்ளுவருக்கு காவி உடை கொடுக்கறதா இருக்கட்டும், ராஜராஜ சோழன் ஒரு இந்து அரசன் ஆகிறதா இருக்கட்டும், இப்படி தொடர்ந்து நடந்துகிட்டு இருக்கு. இது சினிமாவிலும் நடக்கும். சினிமாவிலும் நிறைய அடையாளங்களை எடுக்கிறாங்க. இந்த அடையாளங்களை நாம காப்பாத்திக்கணும்.
However, the BJP has rubbished all charges, saying that the term Hinduism refers to a way of life, not a narrow definition of a religion. They insist that Shaivites and Vaishnavites all come under its umbrella.
Hinduism is not a religion, it's a way of life. The constitution says one who is not a Muslim, one who is not a Christian is a Hindu. So you have to make it as Shaivites, Vaishnavites are all Hindus. That's what we are saying. And nobody objects to, King Raja Raja Chola as a Shaivite. Nobody objected. Nobody has. See, we take movie only as movies. But unnecessarily, Thirumavalavan is trying to, in the guise of, talking about religion, he is talking politics. And I am happy that Thirumavalavan has said that Raja Raja Cholan is a Shaivite and not a Hindu. So now these people should understand that Hindu is not a religion, it's a way of life.
There is systematic de-Hinduization taking place in Tamil Nadu. Yaro Vetrimarana. Ama Raja Raja Cholan Hinduva Matitama, Jnanasnanam Pannitama. எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் இந்த வெற்றிமாறன் எனக்கு அவ்வளவு சரித்திர அறிவில்லை. அவருக்கு பேரே வெற்றிமாறன் வச்சுருக்காரு. ராஜராஜ சோழன் கட்டின 2 சர்ச்சு 2 மாஸ்க் எங்கெங்க இருக்குன்னு சொல்லிட்டா போதும். அவர் யாரு? சிவனோட பக்தன். எந்த அளவுக்கு? தன்னை சிவபாதசேகரன் என்று அழைத்து கொண்ட மாமன்னன் ராஜராஜ சோழன்.
So while the BJP says Shaivites and Vaishnavites come under the same umbrella of Hinduism, the DMK says Shaivite king, not a Hindu. And Hinduism did not exist at that time. Listen.
He is a Shaivite king. During those days, there was a fight between Shaivism and Vaishnavism. I can even quote one avatar of God, Narasimha avatar, Vishnu, killing the son of Viranya, because he was following Shiva. So that was how tense the fight between the Shaivism and Vaishnavism was. And the Rajarajan built only Shiva temples, not Vaishnava temples. So in that context he might have said Shaivism and Vaishnavism were 2 different religions in those days. And they were 2 different philosophies. That's a new creation. It was not there when Raja Raja was the king, because India was not there at the time. There were many kingdoms.
We're now joined by Dr. Subramanian Swamy, former Rajya Sabha MP. Thank you very much for giving us your time, Dr. Swamy. How are you looking at this entire controversy around the movie Ponniyin Selvan? There are some commentators, including filmmakers and politicians, who are saying that during the Chola times, there was nothing, like Hinduism. Its sects were definitely identified separately as Shaivites and Vaishnavites, but Hinduism itself did not exist.
Well, I think there is nothing in the records to say that, because the Shaivites, whether they were Shaivites or they were Vaishnavites or whatever, they all believed in together in one religion, because all religions lead to God. And Brahman, not Brahmin, but Brahman. Brahman was the concept of God, one God. And we have a variety of manifestations of that. And somebody is a Shaivite, somebody is a Vaishnavite, and so on. So Rama was a Vaishnavite, and Shiva Ravan was a Shaivite, but Shiva disowned him and sided with Rama. So I think these half-baked cinema star type people who have never done any schooling, proper schooling, they shouldn't say that. And in the Constitution, Hindu is referred to as a religion. Tell me one place where they say there are two different religions in separate religions. Hinduism, there is not one. Hindu is the umbrella concept. And the umbrella concept means that all these religions have one thing in common. There is one God called Brahman. All religions lead to God. And that you can see God in this life if you do the proper prayer. You can do a number of prayers. These are there not in any other religion. So to say that a Shaivite, what do you mean by Shaivite? Did the marriage ceremony take place only on Shiva? It's on all the gods. When you celebrate Janmashtami, or you celebrate now Dashera, they are different gods, but they are the whole country celebrates. Even in those days, they celebrated. The Cholas went abroad. They went to Indonesia. They went to Cambodia. You please go and see there. Do they make any distinction between whether they were Shaivites or they were Vaishnavites? So I think these are cheap methods to divide the Hindus, because the Hindu consolidation worries them.
All right, you're saying this is a method to divide the Hindus, but the director Vetrimaran has said, for instance, that there is a trend to saffronize Raja Raja Chola. There is a feeling among some that the Dravidian identity, even the Tamil identity, is sought to be diluted. What's your take?
First of all, Dravida is a word, Sanskrit word invented by Shankaracharya. When he went to the north, they asked him, who are you? He said, I am Dravida Shishyu. Actually, the word came from the word Travid, which means where the three oceans meet, or the three coastlines meet. And that is South India. So Dravid is a South Indian concept. There is no word called Aryan in the entire Sanskrit literature. The Arya is there. Arya means for everybody. Anybody who is cultured and civilized is called Arya, whether he is North India, South India, East India, West India.
Now, you refer to actors and politicians. Let me also tell you what Kamal Haasan has said. According to Kamal Haasan, there was no name called Hindu religion during Raja Raja Chola's period. Yes, there was Vainavam, Shivam and Samanam. And it was the Britishers who in fact coined the term Hindu. That's what Kamal Haasan has said. Because the Britishers did not know what to say. They changed Tutukudi into Tuticorin. What is your take on this argument coming in?
Yeah, you see, these cinema actors only know how to read from a script. Somebody must have given him the script to somebody who's anti-Indian. The Chinese from 700 BC have been calling us Hindu, because they don't have her, so therefore they use the word Hindu. The word Hindu comes from Himalaya, and Indus-Ganges, Indian Ocean. The unity of that is called Hindu. And almost every country outside in Afghanistan, such an old, much before the British came, there's something where the Hindus got massacred and they called it Hindu Kush. So Hindu is so widely known, and I'm surprised that a cinema star starts speaking on this. I don't think he has read any book. Ask him to produce a book which says that British was the ones who coined the word Hindu. But he won't. He'll run away. He'll change the subject and go on to some other silly subject later on.
Do you think that these comments are being made with a political motive?
I don't think there's only saffronization in the cinemas and all that. And now we're having movies which are debunking Hinduism. They're making them look like Rakshas and so on. Then we had in the past also some of these actors who went to Dubai and created films against Hinduism. So I don't think, in a free democratic country we are bothered by this. They'll get no traction at all. And the Chandra, whatever his name is, that Haasan fellow, he's been already a failure in politics. I think the last time he tried, he came with a 0. So therefore, I don't think we should much. All the publicity they get is all that they get, and they are doing it only for publicity reason, nothing else. And they are also a history of the British who nurtured the so-called Dravidian movement, and that Dravidian movement is dying. So therefore, they are trying to ways and means to rekindle it.
All right, so you're saying one should not pay much attention to this being done with political motive and only to divide the Hindus. Thank you very much, Dr. Swamy, for sharing your views and perspective on the entire issue. Now, this is not